What's up, guys? Once again, it's the Boss and the Sauce Show, Conference USA College Football Preview right now. Oh, yeah. Right back at them again. This time we visit the UAB Blazers in the Conference USA College Football Preview. Now, let's take a look at this team and jump right into it. Coach Bill Clark gets back 4 on offense and 4 on defense in his 4th year. He got the 4-4-4 going on. The offense returns a nice QB and a nice running back, but only a center on the O-line. So it's almost a complete rebuild of the offensive structure, but it's solidly being held on by a quarterback and a running back. But a quarterback and a running back don't really coincide for the most part. So that's like having a running game, maybe a passing game with no line. We don't know what we get out of this bag of tricks. But the defense, they get 2 returners in the front 7 and 3 in the secondary. They may not be the number 7 ranked defense like they was in 2018, but I still expect them to be pretty solid. Now, it's bad preparation to me for a coach to go in his 4th year and end up with 4 on offense and 4 on defense. To me, that could smell bad recruiting. That could smell, not being prepared, not paying attention to your team. There's a lot of bad things in a 4th year coach if he's not prepared at this point. This is supposed to be the season where he introduces his freshmen to his system with a bunch of players that's already believing into the system to make the system stronger. But bad preparation left him basically starting all over again with this squad right here. And I don't expect 11-3 team this year like we had last year at all. I'll probably give them at most maybe 6-7 wins. What you think about this team, BigRagoo?
Well, I got to disagree with you on that, but here's how I'll break it down for you. UAB, Bill Clark, 4th year, like you said. Now, don't forget, this team didn't have a football program. Even though it was his 4th year, they missed 2 years, 15 and 16. The football program shut down, so he was running some scrimmage games the year before that in 2016 to kind of keep the process going. If they didn't even know if they were going to play football again at that university. But anyways, they got through it. They started playing 17, and the first year back, they did pretty good. And now they come back off an 11-3 season, like you said last year, which I kind of think they might have reached a little bit. But I think a big part of that was because of their defense. And defense, they did have the number 1 ranked defense in conference, and they had the number 3 defense nationally when it came to sacks. So they bring the pressure up front. They're going to get defensive lineman, Garrell Marin, he's a senior, linebacker, Fitzgerald Mofer, he's a senior, and they will lead the attack. And last year, the schools claimed the first Conference USA title. They went 19-8 in the 2-year stretch so far since they've been back. And they get, like you said, 4-4. So they're a little light there on the returning starters. On the offensive side, they bring back quarterback Johnson. Now he was a true freshman last year, and he stepped in as Adderley Hunt went down in the 8th game, and this kid came in versus Southern Miss and threw for 668 yards in a triple overtime game. So he's coming back, and they got a running back, Spencer Brown, as a freshman last year. He broke the school record rushing for 1,329 yards as a freshman 2 years ago, and now last year he rushes for 1,226 yards, 4.5 yards per attempt. So overall, they're 3rd in conference on offense, and then they're getting 10 yards per play on average. So I mean, if they can kind of keep that process going, I'm looking at maybe 8 wins, maybe 9. So I mean, you say 7, very well possible. The thing about the USA Conference in the West, there's 4 teams in there that are right along the same lines as UAB, and they could lose 2 or 3 of those games. So that could put them right back down to, like you say, maybe 7 wins with a couple out of conference losses. But I think out of conference, they should be okay. So I like this team a lot. Uh, do I like them to win the West? Possibly, but they're going to be a top three team for me in the West going forward.
I don't know about a top three, but I'm gonna go up one, and I'm gonna give them 8 wins. I mean, looking at the schedule, they play Alabama State, Akron, did South Alabama, and Alabama's a football state, so when they play Alabama State, that's a tough game, and then they play South Alabama, even though that's another small school, it still can be a tough game just because it's an interstate rival. And then I'm
Yeah,
not necessarily a rival, but just because it's interstate teams. But then they also see Tennessee
yeah.
on the season. Um, they also have to. Well, that's about it. They miss FIU. They miss Marshall. So yeah, I'll give them 8. I'll go ahead and give them 8. But I'm really down on the coach for letting this fall through like this. And he did try to plug a hole. He brings in top newcomer defensive lineman Tony Fair. He's a 6'3", 355-pound transfer that had 46 tackles and 2 sacks at Prima Community College in Arizona, and they play a lot of football in Arizona. So out of the community college in Arizona, that's not bad. Now, this is the tricky part, though, and this is what I say when it comes down to recruiting and what are the coach doing. Like, I don't understand how you end up with 4 players. Now, somehow this guy chooses UAB over Nebraska and his home state, Indiana Hoosiers. So he took a home state guy and moved him over to his squad. That's a pretty good recruit right there. But I don't know. 4-4 really puzzles me in a fourth year for a coach. Um, I don't know. I'm down on him. I won't give him top 3. I'll give him 8 wins though. Any last words on this team, BigRagoo?
Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on this team. That's all I'm going to say at this point in time. But it's going to be a team I'm going to be watching
Man, I wish I'd
closely
have had
throughout
my
the
eye
year.
on him last year and made some of that money. But that's it right here on the Boss and the Sauce Show. That's UAB Blazers. You heard it here first. We out.